What makes a great video marketing strategy? Why do few succeed and so many fail? Well, in this video, I want to break down the latest trends in video marketing and give you the do's and don'ts so that you can stay ahead of the competition. A lot has changed in the past few years, and if you're not up to date on what's new, then you might be left behind. So sit down, relax, and let me give you a couple points that will help you improve your marketing. Here at Video Power Marketing, we've had the privilege of marketing both our own and our clients' videos for over a decade. And when you do something for 10 years, you start to notice patterns around what works and what doesn't. And before we dive into it, just know I'm going to leave the biggest don't to the very end, because this don't could kill your business. But I'll show you how to solve that as well. So the first don't talk about your product. Do talk about your audience. They say great marketing is not about your product. It's all about your audience. It's all about the people that you serve. A lot of problems I see that happens is people just talk so much about their service, or they talk more about themselves, or they talk all about their product, when really people don't care anything about you until they know that you care about them. So in your marketing, make sure that you're talking to your audience. Talk about what challenges they're facing and how they can overcome them. Maybe talk about what their desires are and how you can help support their dreams and aspirations. So in all your marketing, really just focus all around the customer. Now, I do want to make a caveat, because you want to balance it, right? If I think of like a pendulum, when I think of marketing or advertising, it's like a pendulum, right? Like it swings left to right. And on the right-hand side is sales. You know, you need to be able to get customers and sell your product and service. And on the left-hand side, it's about the brand, like, getting your message out there and supporting the audience. And the problem comes if you only focus on one. Like if you only talk about sales and your product and service, like nobody's gonna like you. So you might make a lot of money up front, but you're not gonna be around very long for people to really enjoy working with you. But if you only focus on your brand and giving and never receiving, you're not going to generate enough money and revenue either to support your business and to support your team. So you really got to find that middle ground of like, hey, let's give and serve our audience, but we also eventually need to talk about our services. But that happens in the sales process. That doesn't really happen in the marketing process. This brings me to point number 2. Don't sell, but do share stories. There's a quote that floats out there. I can't remember who it's attributed to, but they said, friends don't sell, friends tell stories. And stories are so impactful when you can kind of share your own story or the story of your customers, because that helps build trust. Like you want to show, you don't want to tell. A problem that I see in the marketing world is people are always trying to sell. They sell their service, sell their product, which is related to point number 1, right? But really, if you could share your story, share your own story, share the story of your customers, like put them on that pedestal and say, hey, look, this is where this person was before. This is how we're able to serve them and help them. And this is where they are now. I mean, hopefully your product or service has some great testimonials about it, because if not, you might need to work on your service or product. Again, don't sell your product or service all the time. Do share stories of your customers. Share your own personal stories about how they've been able to grow, right? So maybe this person's like, hey, before they met us, they were here, they used our product or service, and this is the problem that it solved, and now they're crushing it. Like they have some great results, right? So hopefully your product or service has some great results and some great experiences of what people have had working with you. All right, now point number 3, don't be a porcupine. Do be a rhinoceros. Meaning, great marketing and great advertising has 1 point, not many points. A problem I see that a lot of people have is when it comes to making a video or making any type of marketing content, is they try and hit all these points. And if you have too many points, it can kind of confuse the viewer, it can confuse the audience. So really, if you can distill your message down, have one strong point. They say a confused mind never buys. So to avoid confusing people's minds, make sure that you have 1 point, not many points. Meaning, be a rhinoceros, not a porcupine. All right, and the last point, and I think this is one of the most important points, because if you don't do this one correctly, it could cause a ton of stress and maybe even kill your business. Don't lean on one traffic source, but do diversify your traffic sources and focus on owning an email list. The reason being is, if you look at any traffic source, you got Facebook, you got YouTube, you got Google, they make changes all the time. If you only focus, if all your traffic and all your sales are coming from SEO, and Google changes the algorithm, and then it impacts your standings with SEO, well then there goes your sales traffic, right? Same thing with paid ads. If you're crushing it on YouTube or Facebook, and then they make an algorithm change, that could then crush all your traffic sources, and you have to go rework everything, right? So any great marketing, you need to have multiple traffic sources, but any one of them can go down at any time. YouTube can go down, Facebook can go down, or they can make changes and it can go down, and it can really impact the cash flow of your business. So one of the things I think you should be doing is building your email list. All of your traffic sources, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Google, like that flow of traffic goes to your website, right? And on your website, you really need to be capturing people's email address. Start to build that relationship through email. People don't just see an ad. Well, some do. Some people will see an ad and they'll buy right then. Most people won't though. So when people see an ad, they go to your website, and you need to have some type of incentive for them to download something or watch a training. But you need to be able to capture their information so that you can start to provide them with more value, so much so that they eventually want to purchase from you or they want to work with you. And so when the only way to do that, the bridge between a view and a customer is an email list, right? The main benefit of an email list is you can reach them anytime you'd like. So even if your SEO stops working or your paid ads stop working, you still have your email list that you can communicate with them. You can still build that relationship with them, and you can invite them to work with you when they're ready to do so. So again, don't lean on one traffic source. Diversify your traffic sources and focus on building your email list. One of the examples I have is, this was a big change made years ago, but do you remember when YouTube used to have annotations? You could click on these annotations and people would be going to your website. Well, we had been trusting on YouTube as a main traffic source for our business, and we were getting a lot of traffic from it. And then overnight, YouTube basically said, hey, annotations aren't a thing. You got to switch it up. And all of the traffic sources that we had built from the annotations went away. So all of our traffic from YouTube basically overnight went away. No views. We're getting views, but we just weren't getting clicks to the website. We weren't getting leads from YouTube. We weren't getting sales from YouTube. And it's because the annotations went away. Luckily, we did have an email list though that we could still reach out to, which gave us enough time to find a solution on the YouTube side of things. We've worked with several clients where they don't have an email list. They just focus solely on the paid ads, and when one algorithm changes or Google or YouTube changes anything, their traffic source is gone and they're left in a tight pinch. But that can be solved if you have multiple traffic sources and you have an email list that you can reach out to. So again, I hope this has been helpful. Just to recap, don't talk about your product, do talk about your audience. Don't sell, do tell stories. Don't be a porcupine, do be a rhinoceros. And don't lean on one traffic source, do diversify your traffic sources and build your email list. I hope this video has been helpful. I hope you implement it to save you a lot of headache and pain. And if you are interested in how to launch YouTube ads, I invite you to watch our YouTube ads tutorial where I break down how to correctly launch a YouTube ad campaign. We get super geeky, but I think you'll like it. If you haven't already, subscribe to our channel, and I hope you have a wonderful day.